Hey there, welcome back to Reddit Dating, the best channel for Reddit cheating stories. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more stories like these. Now, let's get into the video.
My 26 male wife 27 female cheated, but my family are taking her side and making things harder for me. Sorry if it's too long. I tried to write things that happened to me in past 3 months, and am not great in English, so there are probably a lot of mistake in the test. We grow up almost together, our parents were close friends, and we lived in the same building. I used to hate her when I was a kid because she was always better than me, and I can say she received more love from my parents than me. We both got accepted in best uni in our country, but they only held a party for her and their excuse was, she ranked second in whole country while I was only top 50. But she herself cared for me more than anyone else. She confessed to me when I was 17, and we got married when I was 23. 3 years ago, we had a great marriage until 3 months ago I came home and before going in I stopped to smoke a cigarette. Then I heard my wife's voice from window. I went closer to talk to her, and it was when I heard her saying, "We should end this, it's wrong, I love Dan, what she call me, don't call me again." I felt like I wanted to throw up my stomach. I felt really bad, but after a few minutes I calmed down and went in. I didn't say anything to her. I was trying to convince myself maybe I'm wrong. Later my wife left the house to go to gym. She always leave her phone at home when she's going to gym. After struggling for few minutes I decided to check her phone. I can open it with my fingerprints. It was her decision to add my fingerprints, so I can use it in case of emergency. I find the chats very fast. They've been talking since 1 month ago. I was expecting that she had already deleted anything about him, but well, it was all there. I knew the guy from high school, he had nothing but looks. After reading the chats I realized they got in contact in a school gathering party and my wife asked him few questions about photos since he's a model, and then they had a meeting which I didn't know about. After that they were more intimate, and went on a second date. He kissed her in that date, and they talked about it in chat. It was for 2 days ago. I had enough. I stopped reading. I wrote I want divorce, how did you do that to me on paper, and left it on top of phone with chat still open, and left the house. I turned off my phone and went to my parents' house. Next day when I woke up she was there, and I soon realized my parents think we had a problem and want to help us. They were keep saying married couples always fight, and we should overcome these issues. I was really tired, angry, and when my father repeated almost the same thing I shouted she fucking cheated on me, she cheated on me, and then I realized him crying. I left house and went to my parents' house. I expected my parents to take my side and stop bothering me, but next day my mother called me and said she explained everything to me. She's really sorry. It's not that bad, she didn't had any close relationship with him, we should be forgiving. I was desperate. I said no, I want divorce, and she keep telling those things again. And she was saying I'm overreacting, it was only a small mistake, and it's like they had sex, they just meet 2 times. I hang up. Few days later on went to my parents' house to talk to my father about selling the house after divorce, and he said I'll only allow you in my house with your wife and close the door. It was second saddest moments in my life after when I realized my wife cheated. It's been 3 months and my parents keep asking me to forgive her, and don't allow me in their house. We're still married because she refused to sign the divorce papers, and in my country if one of partners refused to get divorce it will take lots of time, and they have to first participate in 3 sessions with a therapist. And she's been following me whenever she can, crying asking me to give her another chance, and seeing her like this make me really sad because I really loved her. But I just can't forgive her, I just can't trust her anymore and not think about how she cheated on me. I don't know anymore what to do with my life, how to deal with my parents, or even how to make her stop. P.S. In my country unless she do something serious like hurting me I can't sue her for anything, and honestly I don't even want to do that if it was possible. Update. Because things are nearly ended and I'm in a better place, I've chosen to write an update on the issue. Some of the remarks, particularly those pertaining to my parents, were taken into consideration. A note from her was sent to us by one of our friends around 20 days ago. I had no touch with her since I was using a new SIM card and not checking my social media applications. She said that she would sign the documents if I saw her and listen to her remarks. She wasn't sure what she wanted to tell me or even whether she wanted to speak about it when we first met, so it was a bit uncomfortable, but she ultimately explained herself a little. She said that they did not have any physical contact, and that it was simply a single kiss between them. Which I didn't care about since she had lost my trust, and that was the end of it. And a slew of more phrases. I was trying to remain cool, but when she began weeping, I couldn't keep my cool any longer. When she pleaded for a second opportunity, I told her that she already knew that even if I gave her another chance, I wouldn't be able to treat her the same way, and that's something I didn't want to do. In the end, I asked her to sign the papers with my lawyer, which she agreed to do, and then I walked her to her car where she apologized and said, "I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, I was out of my mind, but I still love you more than anything." I wanted to tell her that you would not have done this if you truly loved me, but I restrained myself. It's evident that I still have feelings for her, but I didn't want to add to the sadness of the breakup. As for my parents, I spoke with them numerous times, and my mother seemed to be improving. However, when I informed my father about her signing the paperwork, he said that she would be removed from inheritance, and that everything would be given to my sister, and I stated that I didn't care. Not that I don't care about money, but I have more than enough of my own, and my sister despises my parents more than anybody else, so I know she wouldn't take any of their money at any point in time. The fact that she is interested in women was utterly undesirable to my parents since they are Muslim. They suffered much before she left, and they eventually had to accept her after years. I am aware that she would only pay them a visit once or twice a year at the most. Even though my wife is her close friend, we have a nice connection, and she has supported me. In the meanwhile, I'm having a brief conversation with my mother about how my connection with my father is non-existent until he accepts this truth, and I'd want him to acknowledge that he made a mistake in the past, and that he would support me going forward. I didn't want this to spread since it would jeopardize my personal reputation, which is vital in our industry, but it did so anyhow. About a week ago, my buddy contacted me to tell that he was aware of the situation, and that he was very sorry. The male manager was employed by his firm, and he had already spoken with him, and he would not be able to find another position. It is a tiny business, and he will take precautions to ensure that he is not accepted by another agency. You can argue that it would not make you feel any better, and that it is unethical, yet that is exactly what he did. After a few days, the gentleman returned to my office to express his regret, which was understandable given his position, but which I refused to accept. After a time, he became irritated, furious, or whatever, and began disparaging me and my ex-wife on social media. I punched him in the face, and he was carried out of the building by security personnel. His ability to sue me will be curtailed by the fact that if he does so and I bring up his connection with my ex-wife to the police, he will be in serious danger. It is regarded a serious crime in our nation, and the penalty is really harsh as well. Even though I know what I did was wrong, I don't want to behave as if what I did was okay. At the very least, I won't have these thoughts of why I didn't sue him or do anything to him anymore. Sorry for the lengthy post, I was genuinely thinking about them as I was writing it, and it was unquestionably one of the most difficult and saddest experiences of my life at the time. Although it is not particularly necessary, we are required to preserve everything we have with our names on it by law. Nonetheless, we have discussed it, and everyone will get what he or she is paid for. I purchased my wife's half of the home, and she received her automobile, which was registered in my name. We then agreed to sell our villa and divide the proceeds since neither of us wanted to purchase the other person's share.